A poor girl was singing on the streets of LA every day to help her family. Unexpectedly, a millionaire man's passing by and was moved by her singing. Melody was only 15, yet she carried the weight of someone much older. She was a bright, hopeful girl with an extraordinary gift, a voice that could move even the most hurried passerby to pause and listen. Despite the hardships of her life, Melody's smile was as radiant as her spirit, her eyes always twinkling with a quiet determination. Growing up in a tough neighborhood in Los Angeles, Melody had long accepted the challenges her family faced. Her mother worked tirelessly, balancing multiple jobs just to make ends meet, yet it was never quite enough to support their small household. Inspired by her mother's strength, Melody took it upon herself to help in the best way she knew, through her voice. Every day after school, Melody would set up her small spot on the bustling streets, right in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. Armed with nothing but a battered old music stand and a cardboard box where people could drop a few coins, she would sing with a passion and beauty that seemed to make the city's noise fade away. Singing wasn't just a way to earn a little money for Melody. It was her love, her dream, and her escape from the daily grind. Her mother had once shared with her a love for classic songs, soulful tunes that spoke of dreams and resilience, and these were the songs Melody brought to life each day on the street corner. The people who walked by would often slow down, drawn by the melody and warmth in her voice. Some would drop $1, some only a few coins, but all were touched by her music. Occasionally, someone would stop to speak with her, telling her how beautiful her voice was and how it brightened their day. Melody would always thank them, her eyes lighting up as she spoke about how she hoped to pursue music one day. She cherished every small word of encouragement, storing it as fuel for her dreams. Though the money she earned was modest, it helped lighten the load for her mother, and that was enough reason for her to keep singing. One sunny afternoon, as Melody sang one of her mother's favorite songs, a man walking by stopped abruptly. Dressed in a sharp suit, he looked distinctly out of place among the usual crowd that gathered around her. His name was Mr. Harrison, a successful businessman in his mid-50s, who usually kept his heart close to the world. Yet, something in Melody's voice reached a part of him he had long kept hidden. Her voice was raw, filled with genuine emotion, and her face showed a joy that money couldn't buy. Intrigued, Mr. Harrison watched from a distance. He saw the sincerity in her performance, the way she closed her eyes, as if pouring her soul into every note. He also noticed her shabby clothes, the worn shoes, and the cardboard box that held only a few crumpled bills and coins. As he listened, he felt a surge of emotions he hadn't expected: admiration, curiosity, and perhaps even a hint of sorrow. When Melody finished her song, Mr. Harrison stepped forward, clapping softly but with an admiration that caught her by surprise. "You have a remarkable talent," he said, his voice warm yet measured. Melody looked up, a bit startled by the man's polished appearance and the intensity in his eyes. "Thank you, sir," she replied, a shy smile spreading across her face. "I just love singing. It's what I do to help my family, and it makes me happy." Mr. Harrison was taken aback by her answer. Here was a young girl with a gift that could take her far, yet her first thought was of her family, not fame or fortune. "Do you sing here every day?" he asked, curious to know more about her. "Yes, after school. I sing here until it's time to go home," she replied. "People here are so kind, they sometimes stop to listen or leave something in the box. It helps my mom, and that's what matters most." Her words touched something deep within Mr. Harrison. He had spent his life chasing success, building his wealth, and gaining recognition, yet he couldn't recall the last time he felt as fulfilled as this young girl seemed to feel. She had so little yet spoke with such gratitude and purpose. He realized there was much more to Melody than just her voice. She had a rare spirit, a determination he had seen in only a few people. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm glow on the street and on Melody as she prepared to sing another song. Mr. Harrison stood by, unable to tear himself away from her performance. For the first time in years, he felt compelled to step out of his structured, predictable life and do something meaningful for someone else. As he watched her sing, he made a quiet decision. Melody didn't know it yet, but this encounter was about to change her life in ways she could never have imagined. Mr. Harrison was completely captivated by Melody's singing. Her voice, powerful yet tender, echoed through the bustling street, tugging at his heart in a way he hadn't experienced in years. As the owner of a successful entertainment company and a man known for his discerning taste, he had heard countless singers and performers. But there was something undeniably unique about Melody. Her voice wasn't just skillful, it was brimming with raw, unfiltered emotion. She didn't just sing the notes, she lived them, pouring her entire soul into every verse. And perhaps even more striking, her performance carried a rare purity and joy despite the obvious challenges of her life. As her song ended, Mr. Harrison clapped, stepping forward, his applause drawing the attention of others who had also stopped to listen. Melody looked up, a bit startled to see a man dressed in an elegant suit, standing out among the typical crowd that passed by. There was a kindness in his eyes, though, and it put her at ease. "You have a beautiful gift," Mr. Harrison said, his voice sincere and warm. "I can see the entire street feels it, just as I do." Melody blushed, shyly brushing a lock of hair from her face. "Thank you, sir. I just sing because I love it. And it helps my mom, too. She's the one who taught me all these old songs." Her voice was soft, but her words were clear and earnest. Mr. Harrison's curiosity grew. He felt a pull to understand more about the girl whose voice had stopped him in his tracks. "Would you mind telling me a bit more about yourself? Your story, if you don't mind sharing." Melody hesitated, her eyes searching his face for a moment. She wasn't used to strangers showing such interest, especially not someone who looked as polished and refined as this man. Still, there was a genuine kindness about him that she couldn't ignore. She took a small breath and began speaking, her voice low but steady. "Well," she started, "my name is Melody. I'm 15, and my family, we've been going through a hard time." She paused, glancing down at her worn shoes, then looked back up with a brave smile. "My mom works really hard to support us, but it's tough. That's why I come out here after school. Singing helps us keep going, even if it's just a little. It helps her not feel so alone, and it helps me feel hopeful." Mr. Harrison listened intently, moved by Melody's resilience and humility. Here was a girl with a gift that could take her far, yet her first thought was of her family's well-being. Her determination struck him deeply, reminding him of the very qualities he admired but rarely saw in the polished world of high-stakes business. "Does your mother know you sing out here?" "Oh yes," Melody said, her eyes lighting up. "She's proud of me. She always says, 'Keep singing, Mel. One day someone's going to hear you, and your dreams will come true.'" Melody's gaze softened, the memory of her mother's words warming her. "And even if it doesn't bring anything big, singing makes me feel happy, like I'm sharing something special." Touched by her sincerity, Mr. Harrison's mind was already buzzing with ideas. Melody's voice had an unmistakable quality that could resonate far beyond the busy streets of Los Angeles. He felt a strange, almost fatherly pride in her. This girl who worked so hard, expecting nothing but carrying dreams as big as her heart. He made a swift decision. "Melody," he began, choosing his words carefully, "I don't often stop and listen, but there's something in your voice that I think the world needs to hear. How would you feel about joining me for a special audition? My company could give you a real chance, a place where people can hear your voice." Melody's eyes widened, her heart skipping a beat. "An audition? You mean like at a real music company?" Her words tumbled out, half in disbelief, half in awe. "Yes," he replied with a nod and a warm smile. "It's a chance to see where your talent can take you. And you deserve that chance." Mr. Harrison watched as a mixture of excitement and doubt crossed her face. "I understand if it feels overwhelming, but all I ask is that you try. This could open doors you've never even imagined." The invitation felt almost surreal. Melody looked at Mr. Harrison, her mind racing with possibilities and questions. She'd always sung with the hope that someone, someday, might hear her. Now, here was this stranger, promising her the opportunity of a lifetime. And yet, with all the excitement, there was a part of her that hesitated. "But why me?" she finally asked, her voice almost a whisper. "I'm just singing on the street. I don't have training or fancy instruments." Mr. Harrison's expression softened. "Because you have something that training can't teach, Melody. You have heart, and that's rare. People can hear it when you sing." He paused, seeing the glimmer of hope mixed with doubt in her eyes. "And besides, talent like yours deserves a fair chance. So what do you say?" Taking a deep breath, Melody gave him a tentative smile, the thrill of the unknown edging out her fears. Yes, I'd love to try. Mr. Harrison smiled, feeling a rush of satisfaction. Good. I'll send a car to pick you up tomorrow afternoon. We'll arrange everything from there. With a nod, Melody thanked him, her heart pounding with excitement. As Mr. Harrison walked away, she couldn't believe the twist her day had taken. What had started as another routine performance on the street had turned into the promise of a chance to pursue her dreams. On the day of her audition, Melody found herself standing before the towering glass building of Harrison Entertainment Group, a far cry from the bustling streets she usually sang on. The entrance alone was intimidating, with its gleaming doors, polished floors, and fashionable people rushing in and out. Melody took a deep breath, clutching the strap of her worn backpack for reassurance. Every step through the lobby felt surreal, as if she had stepped into a different world, a world where her dreams might finally have a chance to come true. Mr. Harrison, already waiting for her at the entrance, noticed the nervous look in her eyes and greeted her with a warm, reassuring smile. "Welcome, Melody," he said, guiding her inside with a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Remember, this audition is just a chance to show who you are, nothing more. Just let your heart guide you like you always do." She nodded, feeling slightly reassured but still overwhelmed by the grandeur of the place. As they walked down a hallway lined with framed posters of successful artists from Mr. Harrison's company, she couldn't help but feel intimidated. She had only sung on street corners, using her voice to help her family. Now she was in a room where some of the biggest stars had once stood, hoping to prove she had a place in this world. The audition room was spacious, with large glass windows that overlooked the city skyline. Inside, a few executives and producers sat behind a table, their faces neutral but attentive. The presence of strangers and the high expectations felt daunting. She took a deep breath, trying to shake off the unease settling in her chest. Mr. Harrison leaned in and whispered, "Just sing like it's another day on the street. Pretend it's only you and the music." She nodded, his words bringing a hint of calm. The piano in the room was set up, and one of the producers gestured for her to begin whenever she was ready. As she took her place, Melody closed her eyes, imagining the familiar street where she used to perform, her mother's encouraging words echoing in her mind. With a deep breath, she began to sing. The room fell silent as her voice filled the air, powerful yet tender, conveying emotions that were beyond her years. Melody didn't merely sing, she poured out her soul, every note infused with the struggles and hopes she carried. Her voice resonated with purity and rawness, a quality that moved everyone present. The executives, who had sat back initially with reserved expressions, leaned forward, caught off guard by the intensity of her performance. Even Mr. Harrison, who had already been impressed by her, felt a surge of pride watching her transform the room with her voice. As Melody reached the song's final note, the silence that followed was thick with emotion. When she opened her eyes, she saw expressions of awe and admiration on the faces of everyone in the room. She had bared her soul, unfiltered and genuine, and the room responded with quiet reverence. One of the producers finally broke the silence, clapping his hands slowly. "Melody, that was remarkable. You have a gift, something pure and rare." Mr. Harrison, smiling, joined the applause, feeling his belief in her fully validated. The executives exchanged glances, nodding in agreement as they made notes and murmured to one another. Yet despite the admiration surrounding her, Melody remained grounded, her gaze humble and her posture composed. She hadn't sung for their approval or for fame, she had sung for herself and her mother, who had always believed in her. One of the executives approached her. "Melody, do you realize the power your voice has? You could go far with the right guidance." She smiled shyly, bowing her head. "Thank you," she said, her voice soft yet steady. "I'm just grateful for the chance to sing here. My mom always told me that singing was a gift to share. I don't need fame or riches, I just want to help her and keep singing." Her modest response took the room by surprise. In an industry where ambition often ruled, her humility stood out. She wasn't there to seek stardom but to make a difference for her family. Her words struck a chord with everyone in the room, especially Mr. Harrison, who admired her authenticity. Mr. Harrison addressed the group. "This is what true talent looks like. It's not about glamour or fame, it's about heart. Melody has something that can't be manufactured or trained. It's rare, and it's worth nurturing." Turning to Melody, he said warmly, How would you feel about recording a song, something we could share with the world?" Melody's eyes widened. "Me? Record a real song?" She looked both shocked and delighted. "That would be unbelievable. I'd love that so much." Mr. Harrison chuckled. "Then it's settled. We'll work together, Melody. We'll make sure your voice reaches as many people as possible." As the formalities of the audition wrapped up, Mr. Harrison guided her out, noticing the awe in her eyes as she glanced around the studio one last time. This was no longer just a daydream, this was the beginning of something real. The kindness and sincerity she had shown to strangers had brought her to this moment, and Mr. Harrison was determined to make sure her journey continued in the right direction. On the way out, Melody turned to him, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Mr. Harrison, I don't know how to thank you. You didn't have to do this for me." He looked at her, his expression softened. "Melody, you've already thanked me. The world needs voices like yours. And truthfully, people like you remind people like me of what's truly important." He paused, his own thoughts drifting. "You may not realize it, but today you've given us all something priceless. This isn't just about your voice, Melody, it's about your heart." They shared a warm smile as they walked through the doors of the studio, each of them changed by the day's events in ways they hadn't anticipated. Melody left with a promise in her heart and a newfound hope, while Mr. Harrison watched her go, grateful to have met someone who had reignited his own passion and purpose. Together they were about to embark on a journey that neither of them could have foreseen, but one that would change both their lives forever. As the room fell silent after Melody's audition, Mr. Harrison gathered his thoughts, feeling deeply moved not only by her voice, but by the strength and authenticity she had shown. Standing up, he looked around at the gathered executives and staff before finally turning his gaze toward Melody, who waited anxiously, still unsure of her fate. "Melody," he began, his voice steady but warm, "I want to thank you for sharing your gift with us today. Your voice isn't just beautiful, it's powerful, honest, and filled with a kind of emotion that can't be taught. It's clear to everyone here that you have something truly rare." A round of gentle applause from the room ensued, but Melody, overwhelmed, only managed a shy smile. Mr. Harrison raised his hand, signaling for silence again as he prepared to share something even more surprising. "However, I'd like to share something more than just praise today," he continued, his eyes softening with a hint of nostalgia. "For many years I've wanted to give young people opportunities that I never had when I was your age. You see, I didn't come from wealth or privilege. I know what it feels like to struggle, to work hard with little hope of being recognized. Like you, I started with nothing, and I had to rely on my persistence and hope to reach where I am today." Melody's eyes widened in surprise, hanging on to every word as Mr. Harrison recounted his journey. She hadn't imagined that someone as successful and polished as him could understand the hardships of a life like hers. Hearing his story, she felt an even deeper connection with him, sensing the sincerity in his voice as he opened up about his past. Mr. Harrison continued, "This is why I created the Harrison Talent Scholarship, a program that seeks out young, talented individuals who have the heart and dedication to pursue their dreams, even when the odds are stacked against them. Melody, I am pleased to announce that we've decided to grant you a full scholarship to attend one of the best music conservatories in the country. You'll have access to voice coaching, professional training, and all the resources you need to develop your incredible gift." There was a collective gasp around the room, but none were as stunned as Melody herself. For a moment she simply stared at Mr. Harrison, unsure if she had heard him correctly. A full scholarship to study music. The opportunity to train professionally. Her head spun as she tried to process the enormity of the gift he had just offered her. "Mr. Harrison," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion, "I don't even know what to say. I've dreamed of studying music, but I never thought it could happen for someone like me." Tears glistened in her eyes, and she clutched her hands together, overwhelmed by a mix of disbelief and gratitude. Mr. Harrison stepped forward, his expression kind and reassuring. "Melody, this isn't a handout, it's an investment in you, in the talent and resilience you've shown. You've worked hard not only to support your family but also to share something beautiful with the world. It's time that you get the chance to focus on your dreams and develop the gift you were given. You deserve this, truly." The sincerity in his words broke down any last bit of composure Melody had left. She wiped away a tear that slipped down her cheek, laughing slightly at her own emotions. "I don't know how I can ever thank you enough," she said, her voice shaky. "You've given me more than I could ever imagine." A round of applause from the room broke out, this time more enthusiastic as everyone felt the weight of the moment and the incredible opportunity Melody was receiving. The executives, many of whom had initially viewed her as just another hopeful singer, looked at her now with admiration, realizing how special she truly was. Even they could see how much this chance meant to her. Mr. Harrison smiled, his own eyes reflecting the pride he felt. "Thank you, Melody. I have no doubt that you'll make the most of this opportunity. And remember, while you're pursuing your dreams, never forget the strength and compassion that brought you here." The room began to empty out, and Mr. Harrison took a few moments alone with Melody, still feeling the warmth of the moment. As they spoke, he shared more of his past struggles, how he had nearly given up countless times, but had held on to his dreams through sheer determination. He hoped his story would inspire her to stay true to herself, no matter what challenges she might face. "Life has a way of testing you," he said, his voice filled with wisdom. "But I see the same strength in you that I once had to find in myself. When things get tough, remember the people you love and the dreams you're fighting for. And most importantly, know that there are people who believe in you." Melody nodded, absorbing his words. She felt not only gratitude but a renewed sense of purpose. She had been given a rare gift, a chance to break free from her circumstances and become something more. And she vowed to carry forward Mr. Harrison's kindness, ensuring that his belief in her would never be in vain. As they parted ways, Mr. Harrison gave her one final piece of advice. "Let your voice be a light, Melody. Not just for yourself, but for everyone who needs to hear it." The next few weeks passed in a whirlwind of preparations. Melody bid farewell to the streets where she had sung for so long, ready to embark on a new chapter filled with promise and possibility. And as she entered the conservatory for her first day, she carried Mr. Harrison's words with her, her heart full of hope and determination. After receiving Mr. Harrison's life-changing support, Melody begins her studies at the prestigious Music Academy, where she immerses herself in the world of professional music. At first, the grandeur of the academy and the expectations of her instructors are daunting. She feels out of place among students from wealthier backgrounds who have trained for years. But with each day, Melody's resilience grows stronger. The countless hours she spent singing on the streets have taught her determination and confidence, and soon her natural talent begins to shine through. Her instructors are captivated by the raw emotion she brings to her performances. Melody practices relentlessly, refining her voice, expanding her range, and studying music theory late into the night. She bonds with fellow musicians, each learning to appreciate her story and admire her unwavering dedication. Her teachers quickly see her as more than just a talented student. They see her as an artist destined to share something meaningful with the world. As she takes her first steps onto the stage in student recitals, her voice echoes through the halls, leaving audiences spellbound. As Melody continues her journey, she begins to gain attention outside the academy. Small performance invitations start to come in, and she captivates audiences wherever she performs. Music critics are struck by her powerful voice and the unique blend of hope and resilience in her performances. Her reputation spreads, and soon, her name becomes known beyond the walls of the academy, as a young artist with a heart as inspiring as her voice. Mr. Harrison, who continues to watch Melody's journey closely, is proud to see her shine. He witnesses the crowds growing, the press coverage increasing, and her performances becoming more powerful with each stage she steps onto. To him, Melody isn't just a young singer he helped, she's become a symbol of his own faith in humanity. He sees in her the very heart of the lesson he wanted to impart, that kindness, when given without expectations, can blossom into something extraordinary. Meanwhile, Melody's family undergoes a profound transformation thanks to Mr. Harrison's generous support. They move into a modest yet comfortable home, where her mother no longer has to work multiple jobs to keep food on the table. Her siblings attend better schools and have more opportunities, and they witness firsthand how Melody's talent and determination have transformed their lives. Her mother, deeply moved by the kindness of a stranger, finds herself inspired to give back, volunteering at local shelters and sharing the story of her family's blessing whenever she can. For her, Mr. Harrison is more than a benefactor, he's a guardian angel who appeared in their darkest hours. The family begins to live with renewed purpose, grateful for each other and the life they now share. They support Melody in every way they can, cheering her on, not only as a family but as the heart of her resilience. As Melody's career blossoms, she never forgets the journey that led her to this moment. On the night of her first major solo concert, she stands backstage, looking out at the full auditorium. Among the crowd, she spots Mr. Harrison seated in the front row, his face beaming with pride. As she steps onto the stage, she's overcome with emotion, recalling the years of hardship, the strangers who listened, and the single act of kindness that brought her here. After her final note resonates through the hall, she pauses, then dedicates the entire performance to Mr. Harrison. "This is for the man who showed me that dreams are worth believing in," she tells the audience. Mr. Harrison, hearing her words, feels the full impact of the compassion he once gave without expectation, now reflected back to him in her music. It's a moment neither of them will ever forget, a celebration of the power of empathy and the beauty of dreams realized. In the final moments of her performance, Melody understands that Mr. Harrison's actions went far beyond offering her a chance at music. He showed her the boundless power of compassion and reminded her that every act of kindness can change lives. Through her voice, she aims to inspire others, carrying forward the lesson that had changed her life so profoundly. For Melody, every note she sings is now a tribute to the kindness that shaped her destiny, and she hopes to give back just as he did for her, helping others find their voice and place in the world. As the years pass, Melody establishes a foundation in Mr. Harrison's name to support young musicians from underprivileged backgrounds, giving them the resources and training to chase their dreams. She makes it her mission to carry on Mr. Harrison's legacy, ensuring that his kindness lives on in each life the foundation touches. With every young artist she helps, Melody feels as though she is giving back a piece of the gift he gave her, paying forward the compassion that lifted her from the streets of Los Angeles to the stages of the world. Mr. Harrison, ever proud of Melody's accomplishments, feels his life's purpose fulfilled, knowing that his gesture of kindness set off a chain of goodness that continues to grow. Thank you for watching this inspiring story of kindness and transformation. Melody's journey reminds us all that one act of compassion can change lives in ways we never expect. If you found this story moving, please like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more heartfelt stories like this one. Together, let's spread the message that kindness truly matters.